creatures are the fear. They do represent our darkest fears. She's maybe latched onto creatures that are naturally scary, such as werewolves and giant spiders and things. But I think the most interesting creatures are the ones that she's completely created herself, such as Dementors.
The Dementors are these creatures which drain every person in their vicinity of every joyous feeling and leaves them with nothing.
I had a nightmare when I was in my teens in which I saw hooded gliding figures, and that image haunted me. And the Dementors for me were about depression, and I joined the two. When I was looking for something, I thought that's what they would be like, and then I had to decide what was under the hood. What is the final consequence of very, very severe depression, where you exist without hope? I had to make that visual, so I described the eyeless face, you know, with just the gaping, sucking mouth.
For me, it was more a process of understanding what these creatures are. It's not a monster that's going to come and attack you and rip you to pieces. It's something way more abstract.
I remember one point, I think, with Alfonso, when he was going on about loads of eyes, there was something, he had this big thing about the Dementors and lots of eyes.
Remember, there was the storyboards of Dementors approaching the train. A week later, I just started hearing rumors that everybody was so proud to be working with the genius. And they would say, wow, your surreal imagery is amazing. Until I see the storyboards, there's water. And the water transforms into ice. I didn't know how to tell them that I meant ice like frozen water, because I was already a genius.
It was a difficult one because essentially it was a big load of cloth. It was like, I personally couldn't find a way of drawing that.
We used as reference people who'd been embalmed with cloth that was wrapped around and coming away.
We even bring this puppeteer from San Francisco, and we did tests like for 10 days of puppeteering underwater that then we would shoot backwards to create like the whole eerie effect.
The first time you see them, the third film, and you see them with cloth hand come around on the train is very effective.
You were scared for everybody sitting on the train. Alfonso was quite keen that they were spectral and almost at a distance all the time, so they didn't have to touch you. They would hover close to you and the world around you would freeze, but they'd actually be able to just do all of their necessary damage and just purely through the soul sucker.
Alfonso wanted to scare kids. He wanted those Dementors to be terrifying. Because it's not a happy world all the time. Harry Potter is a dangerous world.
You're dying. Both of you.
We want to tap into that darkness, and Alfonso did that.
The Dementors scene was the moment where I first sort of went, this film is going to be really, really scary. When David talked me through the ideas for the scene, I thought, wow, this is really, really brilliant.
In the book, it's in an alley, and it was David Yates' idea to set it in this underpass. So it was brilliant, you know, this confined, scary, and yet very real place.
An underpass, it's kind of cold and creepy. This is where bad things happen. It felt like a natural fit to introduce the Dementors into that arena.
To juxtapose that with these terrifying creatures made them all more frightening somehow.
rather than just making it about souls, we wanted to give them more physicality. So there's a moment where they pick him up and slam him against the wall.
There's always something sensorial about that, and about the dampness of them, and the way a bony finger can press against Harry's neck, and the marks that it can leave, and the smell that they have when they get particularly close. I'm talking to Dan about those things. What does it feel like when that breath starts to brush against your nostril just before they start to try and suck out your soul?
There's a moment when the scene sort of holds and both of them are trapped. You know, Dudley's lying down and Harry's up against the wall, and you think it's over, and David just sort of lingers on